are no words to describe the excitement of these next few moments I get to spend with you. This is how I want to start off. I am the son of a pastor, so I grew up in church, a very Pentecostal church. And there is something that they would say often: don't wait till the battle's over, shout now. I know some of y'all got excited hearing that, but I don't want to wait until this video presentation is completed to celebrate who you are. I want you to put down whatever's in your hand. Put down your cell phones for a minute. If you have someone in the room, I want you to look at them and say, clap for me. This clap is for you. 2020 has been a year that will go down in the history books. And if you're like me, you may have lost some people who are close to you, or you may know someone who has lost people close to them. But the most important thing right now is that we are here. And you are worth being celebrated. So this clap is not just for who you are. This clap is who you have been. And this clap is more importantly for who you're getting ready to rise up and be. Yes, clap for yourself. And if you can't clap for yourself, at least clap for me. My name is Alan Douglas Young, and I understand that time is the most important commodity that one has. And the fact that you are sharing that commodity with me, I honor you. I have brought together some of the most incredible voices. And all we are trying to do is help you to understand who you are and your fingerprint's worth in this earth. Are you ready to go on the journey with me? I want you to get comfortable, and I promise you I won't keep you long. I will honor your time, but I want you to hear my heart. As I was planning out this conversation, I had written my notes, made a timeline of how and what points I would hit. And the day before this recording, I lost everything. And I lost it because I believe destiny wants something more intimate and more important. And that is a heart-to-heart, transparent conversation on this beautiful yellow seat. And that's what I want to have with you today. And this is where I want to start. I am from Denver, Colorado, but I now live in Charlotte, North Carolina. And I was recently thinking about one of the lowest moments of my life. While I was living in Denver, I was leading in several capacities in my life at a very young age. I was leading a business. I was leading in my church. I was leading in my workplace. I was leading in communities and mentorship. And as a young person who was leading in all of these arenas, I had a cloud of people who looked up to me in a certain level. But the level of leadership and the way that people looked at me was in no way the way that I saw myself. And unfortunately, I felt a lot of times that I was living under a smokescreen or a mask or even a lie. I remember this particular day. I had had a long, exhausted day. I emotionally wasn't feeling my best. And as I was leaving, ending the day, I would let everyone else leave first because I didn't want them to know that I had to catch the bus. So I would leave. I always was as dapper as I am now. And it began to rain, and I'm walking towards the bus stop in the rain. And as I'm walking, I'm thinking to myself, what is the purpose of life? Why am I here? What is my value? And I got to the bus stop and I sat and waited for the bus. And when the bus came, I got on the bus and my thoughts began to get deeper because I could not find a conclusion. I could not find an answer. I could not find a definition. All I could see was that I was doing these things, but I could not see where these were going to lead me or yield me to. Well, I got off the bus, and as the bus was driving away, I noticed that I didn't have my bags, my phone, anything. And in that moment, I felt the lowest level of despair that one could feel. I see the bus leaving. It's pouring, raining, and all I could do is fall to my knees and cry. And ask God, why? What am I here for? What is the meaning of life? I can remember these questions so clearly. Eventually, I picked myself up out of the puddle that my dapper self, now soaking wet, was in with no umbrella. And I was supposed to connect to a different bus. See, some of y'all younger people don't know about having to connect to buses, but you get that transfer and you're supposed to connect to a different bus. But I left everything on the bus. So I had to now walk to the place that I was staying because I also was technically homeless. I walked a few miles to the house that I was staying, and the place that I was staying, one of my friend's grandmother had recently passed away, and there still was some time on the lease. So he secretly was letting me stay in the one-bedroom home of his grandmother who had recently passed away in that house. When I got in the house, soaking wet, the house was very cluttered, and the only place that I could stay was in her bedroom. She had a medical bed, and when you would walk in the room, you would smell a strong stench of urine. I took the blanket and I laid on the floor, and it only added to the depthness of my sorrow. Why am I telling you this story? I'm not telling you this story. Obviously, that's not a place that I got stuck because of where I'm at right now. I'm not telling you this story to get your empathy or your sympathy. I'm telling you this story because I understand what it is to be at the lowest point of your life and feel like all of your dreams, all of the desires, all of the visions that you have are so far out of reach that you almost feel that you can never attain it. What I didn't know that I know now is that all that I am here sitting in front of you, all that I will be when I'm on a national platform with my national television show, having these same deep conversations, is all that I always was. The fullness of me was the same person who was on my knees in the puddle watching the bus flee. Was the same fullness of me, was the same person laying on the floor in a room that smells like urine because I had no place else to go. I got you. I'm sharing this story because I want to get to the most important point. And that is that all that you are, all that you will be, is all that you have been. Whew! Okay. You came into this earth power packed. There were millions of brothers and sisters fighting for the egg to get here. And I used to say, you got there first. You was the fastest. But you know what? Studies show that you necessarily wasn't the fastest to get into the egg. You wasn't the first to get there. But here it is. You were the only one to get there. So if you're here today, you're already a survivor of millions. All that is in you has always been in you. All that you are getting ready to do in this next year has been waiting for you to burst out of you. The purpose, the desires, the dreams, the visions, the things that you daydream about, the things that you have journaled about, the things that you think about. The reason you're thinking about it, the reason you're dreaming about it is because you are capable of it. Woo! I've said this all year, and you've probably seen this on my other videos, and I'm going to say it until you get it. These are the words that I never heard. These are the words that I longed, and I was looking when I was looking for definition and for someone to confirm me that I never knew. You are enough. I don't want you just to hear that. I want you to know it. I want you to embrace it. I want you to believe it. I want you to receive it. I am enough. Would you do this with me? Would you put down everything that's in your hands? Will you close your eyes? Will you, in a moment, get the value of your life, of where you've come from, where you are, and where you want to be? And will you say this with me? I am enough. Say that. You are enough. Those words are so powerful, and I hope that they penetrate your soul. You are enough. Everything that you want to build, everything that you want to do, everything that you want to go after, everything that you want to achieve, you will do it. And you know why you're enough? You're not enough because Alan Douglas Young told you enough. You're enough because you confessed it with your mouth. Oh, man. And there is something powerful about releasing something from your mouth to your ears to your heart. You're enough because you said you're enough. And all that is in you to accomplish, you will accomplish, not because I said that you can. I'm just confirming that you can. As I woke up that next day, it was like something in a movie. Through the blinds, the sun was coming through so strongly, and the rays of sunlight was hitting my face. And out of my despair, the lowest moment of not knowing purpose, understanding who I am, what I will achieve or accomplish, I rose up from the floor in the room that was stained with the smell of urine, where someone had recently passed away. And I looked around the room and I thought about the prison and the condition in which this lady had lived, but the faith in which she had. And I didn't know what that day would bring. But what I made up my mind is that I was going to get up from there and I'm going to take every day until I have no strength to go after what I believe. And that's how 2020 has been. 2020 may have felt like it was the floor of a room stained with the smell of urine. But I'm telling you that we are getting ready to get up. Our ancestors are rejoicing, for it is our time. It is the season of recompense. It is your time to build your empire. It is your time to establish your corporation. It is your time to become the leader in your marketplace. And we're going to rise up from this place. And we're going to go somewhere where we have never been. Can you feel that? Receive that energy. You are getting ready to go somewhere that you have never been. I am getting ready to go somewhere that I have never been. And that's why you're watching this. Man, I got to catch my breath because my soul is stirring for you and your purpose. On this journey in this marketplace, I went after several businesses that all came to an end before I came to one that became successful. And I would read autobiographies of famous people, corporate people, just people of success. I wanted to know what was the secret. And you know what I found out? I found out that they were not the most talented, one, the most gifted. They were not the best. But they had a perseverance that would not stop. Whew. What you want to achieve, if you're not willing to die in the process of pursuit, you'll never get to it. At what cost are you willing to go after what you believe? I think that's something thought-provocative right there. So on this journey of realizing that I'm enough, I didn't get here overnight. Because after raising from that moment and opportunities came, I still lived life not knowing my value until maybe 2 years ago. Everything that I did was because I wasn't good enough. The successes that I achieved was because I didn't believe in myself. So what happened 2 years ago? 2 years ago, the best thing that could have happened to me, which led me to you. As my business was succeeding, people start saying, I need your help. Can you show me what you did? Can you spend time with me? And me, with not knowing that I was enough, I said, okay, this is what I'll do. I'll pull together the voices and the people who have helped me the most to help you. But everything is a setup for where you need to be. So I started the first retreat. And that retreat was so that I could hide behind other people leading to help the other people that I believe in. But what it led me to was my life's call. The definition of why I'm here. My life's discovery and my life's passion, which is to help you achieve the highest level of what you can accomplish, of what you believe, of where you want to go. So I can't get into all of that, but because I said I was going to honor your time. But this is what I want to share with you. As I started this journey with these retreats, with defining your voice, defining your purpose in marketplace, in the community, building an ecosystem that supports each other, raising in unity to the highest levels, taking over our industries, working to reach back and help other people who look like you, who may not have the opportunities. And as we begin to see quick successes as we could never dream, I realized that in the first year of this process that I had not fully embraced who I was. And this is what I want to get to being enough. You have to know all that's in you, and you have to believe that all that is in you is achievable. So I did something. I developed these chalkboards, and they go on my bookshelves. My mentor says that readers are leaders. I believe that. And on this chalkboard, I created I am statements. And I want to share some of them with you because I believe that this is going to birth something in you for what you need to do to start believing who you are. And every morning, I don't know what you believe or what your faith is or however, but every morning I started with one chalkboard. There's probably about 40 chalkboards on this bookshelf. I put these statements of who I am. And every morning at 5 a.m., I wake up. And during my time of meditation and prayer, I confess these things over me. And this is what I want you to do. I want to share some of these things with you first. And some of these statements, I believe, are universal, that we all can confess. I'm going to share some private, personal I am statements for myself, and I want you to develop your I am statements. I heard this and it was so powerful. It said, I am my rescue. At that lowest point when I was trying to determine and to find the definition of my life, I didn't know that all I needed was already in me. You are your own rescue. If no one has thrown you out the lifeboat of whatever it is you need money, you need opportunity, you need open door, stop waiting for people to do that for you. Do it for yourself. Will you say this with me? I am my rescue. In this age, innovation is important. It's so important that you need to be ahead of what you're doing. You got to get around thought leaders. So this one was important to me. I am an innovator. Would you say that with me? I am an innovator. We have to be on the precipice of what is happening. We have to be on the step. We have to see with the third eye the things that other people don't see. In that moment, and it's so funny because that moment in the lowest point of my life was the defining moment for me. Because this is what I felt, and this is what a lot of us feel alone, a lot of times, that we are alone. But this is what I have to say to myself every morning. I am not alone. You are not alone. All that I'm doing is not to create a moment, to try to create a bunch of money, to try to get famous and rich. I am creating this moment so that you don't feel like you're in your lowest moment by yourself. You are not alone. I am effective. The work that we do, we will leave our fingerprint in the earth for them to remember. And if the work that you are building does not have an effect that goes long past you being here, then how effective is it really? I am effective. This is a personal one, but this is what I want to do. And I'm sharing these with you because to build the value that you're enough, you have to make these confessions. I'm going to produce an Emmy Award-winning documentary. My presence demands attention. My voice has power. I love this one. Yes, I can do it. Yes, I will do it. We've been saying this enough. I am enough. And this is my favorite. I've decided I'm okay. On this journey, it does not matter. We have seen this time and time again. People who build platforms, but their value of who they are don't match with what they have built. As we're on this journey, as we're in this retreat, as we're ending this year, I want you to have a foundation so strong that as you are ready to go to the place of purpose, whether that's in the community, whether that's in the marketplace, whether that's in the corporate office, or wherever you are at, I want your foundation to be so strong with who you are. I want the confidence of what you can do and what you're called to do to be so strong. And more importantly, I want you to understand that we need you. We need your level of compassion. We need your level of competence. We need the relationships of you to open up doors for other men and women that look like you, think like you, who wouldn't have the opportunity to come through the door if you're not there. And that's what this is about. That's what this conversation is about. That's what that lowest point of me laying in that puddle, in that water was about. It's for me to rise up, to get here, to understand the journey of where it takes for where we are going. Woo! Baby, I'm ready to throw off this hat. I see you somewhere, and your future looks so bright. This is what I want you to think about. How will you define yourself? How do you want to be remembered? And most importantly, what changes will happen because you were present? I love you. And though we may have never met or we may never meet, I want you to know that you are loved and that every vision and that every plan that you have will succeed. I honor the time that you have spent, and I encourage you to tap in to these other speakers who are coming, that are sharing from their hearts, that are sharing from their mind with you to get you somewhere.